What's up, teammates? We're here to talk about the running back room. Once again, the running back room for the Raiders is dismally worse than the running back room for the Chiefs. It's just true. Last year, Isaiah Pissheco had a great year. He got just as many yards as our top two running backs got. He outplayed Josh Jacobs by to the tune of one more yard per carry, and he scored three times as many touchdowns. So, yeah, he did a lot better than our running back room all by himself. So, where do we go from there? Well, we go to the fact that Josh Jacobs is gone. So, at least there's that. Look, now that he's gone, and now everybody's a little less enamored with the fact that he was who he was and how much we like Josh Jacobs and how good he had, how good a year he had that couple seasons ago. But last season he was terrible. He's held the team back. He couldn't perform. He came back out of shape. He got all the carries. He couldn't muster up anything but 3.5 yards a carry, and he held back the running game. And if you want to say that he couldn't run because our passing game wasn't dynamic enough, then you can say that there's the argument to be made in that direction. But the truth is that he had the chances to get the runs. We gave him the offensive line. We gave him the carries. I mean, the other teams were double teaming Devontae Adams every play of every game, so they had no safety help. They was doing it straight up. Now, part of it was the O-line not necessarily getting the hat on the hat and taking them down. But the other part is Josh Jacobs just wasn't getting it done. If you're a good running back, you find a way to average more than 3 yards per carry. And he couldn't find a way to do that. He ended up with 800 yards rushing and a handful of touchdowns. It was nothing impressive. And it's nothing that we're going to be happy with from our running back room. It's not going to help us next year. So leaving Josh Jacobs behind was the best thing to do. Maybe the other team will get something more out of him, but we weren't able to get too much out of him. And again, he went into the last 4 games and didn't play. Missing games again. So, good riddance in my opinion. Plus, he was just trolling. He's too young and too immature. Not like everybody's not on the internet, but he's just always trolling and half talking. And even when he was dissing the Raiders, he was still just kind of trolling and not saying a full talk. He was just talking outside the side of his mouth, not necessarily dissing, but just saying. So anyway, forget him. Let's go off to Zamir White. What can Zamir White do this year? Well, maybe he can do what he did the last 4 seasons. 4 games of the season. Again, as with our running back room, we're going to the promise of what happened after Antonio Pierce started coaching the team. And what I'm going towards is the last 5 games of the season because I feel it's fair to give the team at least 5 games to try to start to get together. Even though they didn't have a bad season in those first 5 games. I mean, they won the first 2 games of that stretch. But anyway, in the last 5 games, or actually just 4 games for Zeus because he only started 4 games. But in those last 4 games, he did average 4.3 yards a carry. Far better than what Josh Jacobs was doing and much closer to what Isaiah Pissheco was doing. So we've got it out of him before. Does he have the promise? Yes. Will it come through? We don't know. We can only hope. And that's where we are with most things as far as our rooms go with quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end. But the silver lining, not only is Zeus capable, but there's another running back we got in our room that looks like he's going to be making some strides. When we drafted him, I started looking at his film and I saw what he was doing, and it was just incredible to me. He ran the coldest Hunter Renfro route I ever seen in my life, better than Hunter Renfro. Out of, and he's a running back in the slot. It was cold. The kid has a lot of talent. Um, he's fast. He knows how to read the line. He knows how to create when the gaps are closed or when the holes are closed. So it's something that he already has. It's something that he's developed. When it comes down to Zamir White, he has that, but he has it now. The reason he wasn't producing earlier in his career is because he wasn't reading the blocks well enough. When you're doing a run, when you're at the running back position, the most important part of reading the blocks I've learned recently is reading your blocker's shoulder, which is to say, you read where the defender's head is, and then you go to the open shoulder. That's where the hole should be. And if you follow that, if you observe that on each blocker, then you know where the hole should open, should develop, and how to get in there within the bounds of the play. And you got to get the timing right with that. You got to get the flow right as far as the blocking goes. And you got to be patient. You just can't run in there and make it happen. And that's what Zamir White got better at towards the end of the year, which is why he performed so well in the latter part of the year. So him having that now shows that he has done it, and that hopefully he should do it this coming year. The other thing about Laube is him being able to do that, and the catching ability really makes our offense even more dynamic. So with that being a major part of what we're trying to do as far as being dynamic and keeping the defensive guessing as far as where we're going, it looks to me, I'm feeling like Dylan Laube is going to be on the field more often than not. I'm feeling Zamir White's coming on the anything heavy when we're going 5 and lower on third down and punching it in the end zone, and we'll get him on play action to set the defense off. Those will be, I think, his main things. But I think we're going to use Dylan Laube for a lot of the other activity. Of course, we got 2 other running backs, and the running back by committee is something that Tom Teleto's already committed to. Now it's just a matter of who gets the majority of the reps in that committee. And we have talented players in that committee. There's a lot of promise there. It's just a matter of seeing it come together. And I believe we'll see it come together. I believe once we balance out our offense, once Getsy gets a good understanding of what his players can do and can't do, it's just a matter of wondering if he has the offensive mind and if Aiden is going to get the ball to the people. And that's what we have to find out. And the best part is we'll find out soon, and it's coming right around the corner. So get excited, people. The excitement is in not knowing. The satisfaction is finding out. And the anticipation is what builds up the fun. So, remember, you can't win them all. Cards get dark. When you're looking for something bright, come to the silver lining. Guru out.